And go. There we go. Hello. Hello, everybody. Oh, yo. We unlocked that now? Okay, that's cool. That's a new feature we have. That's neat. Top fans feature. Let's see. What is that? Be the first in the leaderboard by showing support. Try sending a live chat or super chat. Robin, what's up? But why? Says Robin. But why not? Okay. Look at this. What's up, everybody? I'm official now. I got some Prusa merch. It's really cool. All right. So, let's just jump right into it. I'm gonna leave the hat on for now. So today, we're looking more at this. So this is the latest version that we've printed off. Now this version was going to be kind of like the final prototype that I was going to install and see if this worked. But we have one problem, and that is there's a hole right there. Looks like I accidentally made a chamfer that was way too small on the whole thing. So there's a hair in it. What's up, Robin? What's up, RJ? What's up, Geek Toy Box? What's up, Tin Talon? How's it going? But one thing that this is also doing is a test for side plates. So that works. It kind of wants to fall out, so we have to figure out. I know who you are, Geek Toy Box. I know you. You're my brother from another mother. Robert Anthony. Anyway. So we have to figure out a method of attachment for this. Which that should be easy. Just like a little flange with an M3. Should work just fine. And do that on both sides. So that's what I'm thinking. Trying to think of anything else we have to do with this. I didn't turn anything on. The ranking thing was turned on by default. I just started streaming and just saw it there. Snap fit. So I wanted to go for a snap fit. I was hoping this would be a snap fit. This is not snug, but this is tapered so that it just fits. I was testing with this, which is a failed print, and it did not fit right in here, so I decided to taper the actual orange part. But now it's loose, so so my idea is just to have a little thing that you can just screw it in at 2 points, and that should be fine. Should be fine. This is still prototype, but this should fit. What sucks is that it takes so long to print, so iterations take forever. And at least in PLA, so this is in natural PLA, which is a transition filament that we have. So this is just filament that we're getting rid of. I'm running out of this. Because this takes like half a spool to print. Or a third of a spool. It takes a lot of filament for this to print that we're going to take our time before we run off another version. Again, I thought this was going to be the final one, but I messed up here. Didn't realize that until it printed. And then I didn't realize that the chamfers on the inside of this part are completely wrong. So that's fun too. But everything else looks good. This printed very well. A little bit of curling, but overall, printed good. Yeah, iterating on large objects is tough. It's easiest to break it down to functional sections. Yeah. It's going to be a design you share. Yes, it will be. So this is what I'm calling the baseball cap because, well, baseball cap. Anyway, instead of a top hat. So the idea is that the MMU will snap into here. You got holes in the back for the filament to come out. And, you know, you got side panels, so the whole thing can stay enclosed. And right now, this is printable on a Prusa XL. So if you have a Prusa XL, you can print this. And then you have a top hat for your Core 1. Fully compatible with the current vents, so it just works. Nothing you have to do there. I am going to look into breaking this into segments so that it could be printed on a Core 1. But that's not going to be a priority. The priority is to get this functional on a Prusa XL, because I'm going to be real. This is a temporary solution. The MMU3 enclosed kit is $30. That is less than the spool of filament you're going to have to pay to print this. So it's not practical either. What are you designing in? Fusion. As always, Fusion. So I'm realizing the music is very loud. There we go. So this is not a practical design. It is purely, I want to print with my MMU, with an enclosed Core 1, and I'm gonna do it. That's why I'm doing it. Because I can wait the month. Like, I'm gonna get the enclosed MMU in a month. Like, I only have to wait a month for me to do this, but I don't want to wait a month. I want to do this now. So I'm doing this now. I'm actually working in the downpour. We'll be in and out, I'm sure. Delayed a bunch. Stay safe, man. Just stay safe. That's the important part. So anyway, yeah, this is for the Core 1. This is a printable version so that you can just print it. Again, not practical. And I'm gonna rant here real quick. Fuck Reddit. I shared this and I was very open and honest saying this is this mod is not practical or needed, but it's something I wanted to do for fun. And everyone just went, what's the point of it? And I'm like, for fun. Like, I don't want to wait a month for this. I want to make one now. And like, everyone's just giving me shit. I'm like, I just wanted it to be fun. Like, come on. Dude, I don't get it. Like, I want to put like a little PSA on the Prusa Reddit. Be like, hey guys, I understand that sometimes people post things that doesn't make sense or really have any reason. But we shouldn't criticize people for, you know, trying stupid things. Because it's literally the whole reason. The stupidity of what we do is the whole reason why Positron exists. Like, Positron was a non-practical design at first. It was just straight up impractical. But we wanted to try and challenge ourselves to make a 3D printer that fit in a filament box. And we did, and it's cool. And we're very proud of it. But we started at a very impractical, very stupid part. Every single person at every single step has an idea that would be considered stupid. That is a normal process in the creative process. That's a normal part of the creative process. And it is okay to have stupid ideas. Not a single person in this world doesn't have stupid ideas. Everyone has stupid ideas. Some people act upon those stupid ideas and are stupid as a result. Some people act upon those stupid ideas and somehow result in something cool. Hi, that's me! Anyway, so the general idea is this. If you have a crazy idea that just might work, fucking try it. as long as it doesn't cause harm to anyone or anything. If it is a weird thing that you want to see if it just works, fucking try it. Just give it a go. See how it turns out, and have fun doing it. That is the important part of being a maker. Because there's going to be a ton of things that you come up with that are just impractical, but could be fucking cool if you try it. Don't let people, you know, knock you down just because they think your idea is dumb. So, let me read up on chat after my monologue. They were trying to understand, but totally came across as a bunch of turds, yeah. I posted aluminum extrusions, and Reddit gave me shit, too. It only earned me a couple thousand Prusimeters now. Hi, Nomad. I'm here to do stupid things. Welcome. Welcome to the stupid things, man. I'm about to do the ultimate stupid thing. I'm literally full of stupid ideas. Doing dumb things for fun is one of the most human things ever, indeed. Click that like button. Yeah, do that thing that Rob says. Do the thing that I'm supposed to be saying. Click that like button. We're about like 60% likes. Anyway, like quitting your job and starting a 3D repair, design, and printing business? Yeah. Anyways, DQ. Should I run 48 volts on a cupcake CNC? As Geek Toybox says, why not? If it doesn't cause you harm or anyone else harm, try it. Might be expensive, but try it. As the ancient philosophers of Greek Mesopotamia once said, that is so true to this day. If you don't fuck around, you won't find out. You want to see some cool filament? This is now my favorite spool of Prusiament. Without a shadow of a doubt, this is my favorite. Callie, what are you doing? Did you puke? Callie. Okay, I'm gonna have to clean. Thankfully, yes. Callie threw up, but it's on... It is on a piece of disposable foam, so I'm gonna go throw that out in a bit here, but I'll take care of that later. This is my favorite Prusiament so far. Check this out. Hold on, I need to make sure that is this working? Hold on. Let me open up Parsec and just double check. GTR Dad, what's up? Welcome. Okay, cool. It is ready. All right. So we go to live view. There we go. Look how pretty this is. Look how pretty this is. This is a 2 kilogram spool. But this is azure blue. It is blue with mica powder. So it has this glimmer. So it has this glimmer that's just really, really good looking. I love this color so very much. How's this new to you? This is just, we just made this. Like, this is a made in USA spool. That's why this is new to me, because this is a made in USA spool. Yeah. Anyway, I love this color so very much. Should be, if you want to buy made in USA 2 kilogram spool, you can absolutely get one at printedsolid.com. That's where I got mine, and it is so very pretty. So pretty. Yeah, but azure blue is azure blue. No? What? What a Bruce's shill. Listen. The disclaimer here says it all. Nomad's Galaxy is employed by Printed Solid, owned by Prusa Research. While my opinions are my own, the relationship will, of course, always lead to some bias. Positron 3D remains independent. Simple as that. Yo, what's up, Koosh? Yeah, this is gorgeous. I do not know what we're gonna print with this yet. All I know is that I love this. I don't know. It's my favorite color. This is my favorite color right here. Favorite color, 100%. I love blue. Blue is my favorite color. This is why Nomad's Galaxy is a blue theme. I love this so much. And I'm so happy that it is now mine. I don't have space on my filament rack for this, but I will make space on my filament rack for this. So, we're going to figure out what to print with this. Who knows? I might make the top hat with this. The one fun thing is that blue actually goes well with orange. That's why I think Tails is a yellowish orange, I believe. Right? Hold on, let me double check. Yeah, Tails is like a yellowish orange. It's because it complements Sonic's colors, which is Hedgehog Blue, or whatever it is. But I thought Posy was owned by Prusu, who's owned by MakerBot. No. No. That is not how that works at all. Anyway, I'm going to put this away. Here's the other side panel. Okay, so we're gonna redesign these a bit, as well as a little bit of the actual thing itself here. So let's go ahead and swap over to live screen cap. Here we are. Hedgehog Blue, Lamau. I mean, look, the fact that Hedgehog Blue is not a color that someone has made so far is honestly kind of funny. I know we have Hedgehog Red for Hedgehog Mix, but evening all. Welcome, Mike. Okay, I gotta ask again because I keep forgetting. What is the schedule for your streams? It's Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. That is the schedule. Does David own an E3D big box? I don't actually know. Right, so these are 4.2 mil, and these turned out to be literally perfect. Only one problem. They are not centered. Figure selection. Okay. 9.8 is the distance between these two. Right? Is it 9.8? I'm assuming it's, yeah. Minimum distance is 9.8. Okay. So each of these is 9.8 across 4.2. Okay, so we're going to delete, 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 delete. Okay. Now, what we're going to do, real quick, we're going to create this. Now, we will project that onto there. That is just for line reference. All right. Go. I'm gonna go ahead, extend that, and then from there, there we go. Okay. I'm doing this the wrong way. But I also don't care. There we go. That gives us our center line. So we're going to do 4.2. That's 402. 4.2. There we go. Just right there. Yep, KB3D now owns Phil Streeter. That's a pretty cool person. I'm very happy for them. Okay, rectangular. So, oh, what did we say it was, chat? Oh, shoot. It's okay. We can measure it. So if I hide that. Okay. And then hide the sketch. We just inspect this. That says 10. Perché? 6.9? That's not right. No. I definitely did not say that. Because I'm looking at this. 9.9. So about 10 mil to 9.9. Hold on. Clear selection. Let's do the bottom ones. 9.9. Okay. 9.9 is what we'll go with. Okay. So, go here. Rectangular pattern. We gotta do this the fun way. 9.9. Okay, there we go. And then circle, but it's going to be a 2-point circle. And that's going to be 4.2. Okay, do that one more time. .9. That's not... That's the... Okay, there we go. A 2-point circle again. 4.2. Someone's gonna be yelling at me for like, why are you doing it this way? I'll be like, because I am a self-proclaimed masochist. You should hear the story about how Dave Randolph designed the next-gen enclosures. He did it in an even worse way. But he did it great. By worse, I mean, oh my god, why did you do it this way? He did it... The program he used was the program that is for slicing the, what he did was he programmed... He designed the next-gen enclosures in a 2D application. He did not design the next-gen enclosures in a CAD. It is all 2D. There's no 3D modeling at all. It is just the raw CAD. Or just the raw 2D laser files. Yeah, Callie, do you not realize there's nowhere for you to sit up here? I love you to death, but I keep trying to train you to only hop up here when I can let you up here. You're making the things harder on yourself. I even tried giving her treats. Doesn't work. Why would you only do 2D? I don't know, man. He just did. That's just Dave for you. Dave is weird. Dave is chaotic. Dave does what Dave wants, and the way Dave wants to do it is... Oh, there's David. Dave is brilliant when, like, again, the way his mind works when he's figuring out how 3D, in general, 3D models work. It's actually really interesting. If you ever get a chance to talk to him at 3D Printopia, do it. It's really fun. What is on my foot? Oh, it's filming. Yeah. Hi, Dave. I guess I have a frequenter now. I would not be able to do that. I cannot just think in 2D. There are some aspects of design that I could, but I am very reliant on visual. I am very reliant on, obviously, printing out test pieces and seeing how it looks still. Very reliant on that. So the next part that we have to look at is we want to... So that fits really nicely. That fits perfectly. That allows for print tolerances to be off and allow for things to connect just nicely. So we have to now account for mounting holes, essentially. So just little spots to put an M3 screw. Now, I think we're just going to put a hole all the way through the whole assembly so that the M3 holes don't really matter where they are. So I'm thinking one right here. So one right there. One down here, and then one in a corner, I think. That should work. I don't see a problem with that. So let's figure that out. Evening, Nomad. Happy Thursday, everybody. Happy Thursday, happy Thursday, happy Thursday. You did this to yourself, Callie. She's currently sitting behind my monitors. The screen is flat, so it's best to think how to go from flat to 3D. Fair. Meanwhile, me and my fancy dancy space mouse. Okay, so now we just centered those holes because they were not centered, and I knew that if I were to release this, that would drive someone crazy. So that's now centered really nicely. So, okay. Let's go ahead and reveal these bodies here. All right, so right here is a great spot for an M3 bolt. So we're just going to do that. And we're just going to kind of bring this wing out a bit real quick. 1 second. I don't have an... I'm just kind of vibe catting. Are the holes centered on the MMU? So the MMU is, at least in this CAD, the MMU is not, this is not centered. It is just kind of in a position. But in the official, like when you actually print it out, you can slide it back and forth a bit. So I want the holes to actually be in the center of the design. And then you're going to be able to, you know, find the center. If they're a little bit off, it should be fine. There's enough play in the PTFE to not cause too much problems. We'll see. All right. Does this account for just a random M3 hole? Oh, that is way too small. That's going to cause problems. Okay, how about we do this instead? We're just going to put an M3 right here. So just 3mm. And then going off our really geometric, lazy design here. I'm gonna just do that. There we go. You would know that if you did it in 2D. Yeah, uh-huh. Probably. Alright, so here's a little trick that I like. Again, someone's gonna yell at me and be like, oh, you shouldn't do it this way. Actually, I already effed up royally, but whatever. I'm going to just go ahead and remove this body. Let's rename. Let's just remove this, because I'm just gonna... I am just going to mirror this when done. I should have done... This CAD is literally like an example of the worst of my CAD. It's not well organized, it's not well anything, it's just chaos. Anyway, so what I like to do in here, so we're gonna go hit thread here. We're gonna set this to an M4. Nah, M3.5. So M3 will go through that perfectly fine. Well, actually no, hold on a second. M4. You can just use a hole tool. I like to use a thread tool because I'm insane. So now, we're going to do this, project, We don't need to project the whole face. Just that. Okay. Finish sketch. Punch a hole all the way through to the other side. There we go. Now, we hide this. Now, for this, we're going to use the thread tool. Now, I'm going to do M3 modeled. Now, your printer, especially if you have a Prusa, can easily replicate the actual threads of an M3 bolt. This is not a difficult thing for a printer to do. This will work perfectly fine for just holding something in. So that's what we're going to work with here. Hello. Hi, Callie. Because this is just, it's a simple little thing that's held on the side. You don't need this to be holding anything. I think someone did a video recently about, what is it? They did a video on like the different types of thread that you can use and how like you could use plastic threads and actually how strong plastic threads are. And it actually was kind of impressive just how strong plastic threads were at actually holding things up. I forget who it was. I think it was Thomas Sandlander who did it, potentially. I don't remember. But they use printed threads and they hung from it with their body weight, and it did a good job. Yeah, probably Tom. Sounds about right.
What happens when life breaks down? God himself puts his arms around you.
I'm so doing this the worst way possible. If I showed Mitch how I was doing CAD right now, I think I'd make him cry. Mitch is a freaking wizard of parametric CAD. He figured out how to do some stuff at work, and it's fully parametric, and it's insane that he was able to figure it out. Dude's a wizard. Isn't it 3D? I really should change the name of the stream. If you think you would cry, you're doing it right. I guess so. I wish I could show you some of the CAD I do for work, because I assure you, it is way better organized. I promise you. I actually go into the subcomponents and only model them when needed. I actually, like, tile things out appropriately. I do a good job, but when it's like this. At work, you're going to do a really nice job. It's going to look really good. But then at home, you just kind of slap things together and because you know it's going to work. At least I don't have any red in my timeline. You can get... No, I'm not... No. No. We're not doing that. He doesn't bite that often. Guys, I'm not... No, we're not jumping into that. One day... Well, if you want to see the kind of CAD work I do at work, just download the Positron CAD. It's similarly done. Like, it's actually organized and easy to understand. So, there you go. That's the one thing you can look at. Eventually, there's other CAD projects I've worked on that are also similarly organized that I've done. I just can't think of anything currently. Okay, so there we go. We got two points that work. Can we get a Dave interview stream? I would like to do that. I would very much like to do that, actually. Honestly, working and talking with Dave is truly just an awesome thing. Definitely one of the highlights of my career. I was saying today, we had a little party today, and it was so much fun. People have told me this, but I can say with absolute certainty that I'm so happy where I am right now. I'm like welling up real quick. I've been in the IT field for 10 years. And I was really nervous about this job because when you are in a profession for a decade, when you do something for 10 years, you can, most of the time, you can say that you know how to do it and you know how to do it good. And I know how to do IT. I'm confident in my IT skills. I know how to be a network admin. I know how to set up servers. I know how to this, that, and everything else. I am confident in my ability to be an IT administrator. When I was prepping for this job, I was honestly really worried. I was terrified because I went from one job that I've been doing for 10 years and I've been told that I was doing it well to a job that I have no formal training on. I have absolutely only hobbyist level skills in, at least I would like to believe. I was nervous, and I think anybody would be. It's entirely normal and natural to be nervous making a jump like this, going from doing just IT work to then professionally doing engineering work with no formal education on the matter. Weeks, if not days after I started at Printed Solid, my dandruff went away. My general anxiety significantly was reduced. I had a reduction in my depressive episodes, and I had this weight that was on my shoulders just lifted. I was still nervous because it is natural to want to do a good job at your job. That is a natural feeling to have. And I was still nervous going into this about doing a good job. But honestly, truly, it has been the best jump I could have ever made. Not only on a professional standpoint, but as on a personal one. I feel so much better. I go to work with a smile on my face, and I love every moment of it. There's times where we're doing metal work, and I hate it. I don't enjoy metal work, but once it's all said and done, I take a step back, I look at what we did, and if you take a tour of Printed Solid, you'll see what we've done. And I can be like, hell yeah, I did that. And I can be proud of it. I think the best video that shows the kind of stuff that we've been doing, that Mitch and I have been doing, Alan Mandic posted a video showing the kind of work that he had to do to set up a Prusa print farm in his new studio. Literally everything he did with the steel tubing is stuff that we've done. Cutting it, welding it, everything. We've done all of it. Mind you, he has done it on a much smaller scale than what I've worked on. But it is the same process, and in the end, you are immensely satisfied and immensely proud of the work you've done, and you can just stand back and be like, yeah, I did that. And that's awesome. That is so cool. Feels good. How many positrons do you have at work? 1. It's actually a funny story. The positron that I have in my office is actually not my positron. It's not Mitch's positron either. It's Dave's positron. So I started at work. I had no idea Dave had a positron. None idea whatsoever. I didn't know Jason sent him one. We're at the old location. I'm digging around looking for something. And then I see a Pelican case. I see a positron case. I'm like, hold up a minute. How is that here? Why is that here? And then I ask about it. And they're like, oh yeah, Dave has a positron. And I'm like, what? So, when we moved, I asked him, hey, I know this is yours. Would you be okay if I put it on display in my office? And he said yes. And oh my god, sorry. Getting emotional again. I'm just crazy. It's really just wild to see where you've been. So the positron, if you ever visit Print and Solid and you get a glimpse in my office, you will see Dave's positron on a shelf in my office. Do you use the posi at work? We used a positron. No, can't give you a picture. Sorry. Would love to, but yeah, can't do that. 1 second. That's sketchy. That's sketchy right there. I don't like it. I could do an M2, but that would suck. So we're just gonna do that right there. If you ever visit Printed Solid, I'll you know, you get a chance to see it, but yeah. We did use a positron in the first few days at the new location. We needed a way to we needed to print a doorstop to hold our door open, so we used the positron to do it before we had our Prusa printers up and running. Take it outside and take a pic. I could do that. I think I can do that. I'll check and see if that's kosher. I don't think there would be a problem with that, but I'll check. You use the positron as a doorstop? No, no. We printed a Hodor doorstop. It's great. I love it. Came out perfect. Best part is I printed it on my positron before it broke. I still need to fix my positron. I will say, when I go to open source this year, it's going to be the first time I don't bring a positron with me. I'm gonna be packing light this time. I don't want to bring a positron because I just want to be able to bring my clothes, and I don't want to have to worry about. Essentially, when I was going to Rocky Mountain, when my flight got canceled, my positron was in my check bag, and that ended up in Colorado while I was still stuck in Philly. So I don't really want to, I don't know. With the current tariff situation, it's difficult for me to justify bringing my positron, because if anything were to happen, it will not be cheap to get a replacement. Like, if it was before the tariffs, I'd be able to be like, hey, Jason, this happened. What can we do? And Jason would probably be like, here's a new positron. That's no longer plausible because of how expensive it would be to do that. So, yeah. Get a medical device sticker? Right. Maybe. Don't know. That's technically... I'm not allowed to do that. Mitch could do that, because he has a CPAP. Alright, I think... Why is that there? Delete that. I think this is good. This should be enough to just hold it in place. Like, I'm happy with that. Yeah, it's a 3-point hold. That should hold just fine. Yep, okay. So we're going to go ahead and reveal the construction plane. Mirror. Mirror plane. There we go. So just like that, we have the new side panels. I'm nervous about how thin this wall is. Oh, that's fine. That's 1.7 mil. That's fine. Yeah, that's going to be fine. That won't be a problem. Especially since I modeled it all the way through. It's not going to be bulging at all. Okay, now, before I decide to print this again, let's just look at the geometry, see if there's anything else we want to do in here. I'm pretty happy with this right now. That's going to be a bit messy, but that's fine. That doesn't have to be nice. Is there a purpose to, you know, having it go all the way through? No. I'm just doing lazy CAD. This turned out to print really nicely. Got additional embossed logo. Nah, I'm not going to do that right now. Because this here, it's very thin. Like, to try and give as much room in here as possible, it's very thin. Because if we bring back the MMU, like, I can... Let's do this. Let's give it just a little bit of thickness in spots where we can. Let's actually come in here and start improving some things a bit. Because now that we can do this, this will just make things look a little bit nicer once printed. So now I can go up here, delete that, add that rounded edge, do the same thing here. It did not like me doing that. Come on. Yeah, okay, I did not like that. I really hope this doesn't crash. Yeah. You know, that would have been useful to think about a moment ago. But now it's frozen, and I did not think about saving it a moment ago. I should have done that. Alright, well, we wait now in terror. As we wait and see if everything I've done gets lost. Oh boy. Let it go. The mouse is spinning. The mouse is spinning still. Still loading. Oh, yeah, thank God. Save. 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 Okay. Alright, we Gucci. We fine. We good. Now, admittedly, the more geometric shape of this matched the design language of the Core 1 a lot better. But I don't want it to be a big box on top of the Core 1. I'd rather it have a little bit more personality. So, yeah. That is already so much better. Let's see. Yeah, that is so much better already. It's also gonna just relatively print a bit nicer. Just a little bit. Alright, I'm gonna leave this pretty rectilinear. Alright. I'm going to modify this a little bit because the sliding part is actually underneath these grills. So I am totally fine with this looking a little bit different. As long as we don't change this too much. Oh, God. Oh, God. Alright, start with 20. Let's go 25. 30. Okay. 35. 40. 45. Doesn't like 45. Okay, 42. Doesn't like 42. 41. Doesn't like 41. 40. 39. 38. 38. That's just going to make things look a little bit nicer. Okay, I'm trying to think what else. It looks a lot better, but now it looks more like a duck bill, admittedly. Alright, I'm gonna veto a thing. We're gonna veto it by doing this. Please don't break. Please don't break. Please don't break. Note to self, make sure to check the simming pasta sauce is actually simming. Yeah, you should probably do that. Okay. Then we do join. Is that... No, it doesn't like not get rid of what I want to. Okay. Those threads will just be there. This is fine. This is fine. If I really want to do a really long M3 rod all the way through this, that's going to be great. It's going to be really helpful right there. Okay. Before I print this, part of me wants to start thinking about how we can make this fit on a Core 1. I mean, the simplest solution is to cut this into 4s. That's entirely possible to do. So if I do mid-plane between there and there, now I can split this into quadrants, and it looks like... Hold on a second. Split body, you, along here. Huh. I mean, it's going to mess up printability. Only to some degree, though. Okay. That's something to think about. This might work out a lot better than I thought. Okay, so if you do that, that splits essentially these two into two, and it looks like, for the most part, it keeps the MMU chamber on its own part of the print, which is good. We want the MMU chamber to remain independent of everything else. And then, you know, when we split it like this, it just splits the MMU chamber into two. So, realistically, we would just have to figure out a way to align everything and to screw everything together, and that's not difficult to do. Pretty happy with that, actually. Because, yeah, a Mark IV S bed and a Core 1 bed is roughly larger than half the size of a XL bed. So splitting up into those quadrants shouldn't be difficult to do. It's all the alignment that we have to do after. That's the hard part. That's the hard part. Now, I could tell people that you have to use glue. That's not an unnecessary thing for people to do. And that actually can be made relatively easy. But with how thin the internal geometry of this is, that actually wouldn't be that simple. So, let's see. I have no idea how this would work, but you know what? I'm gonna print this all in one go, and then we're gonna try. So save as mesh. Baseball cap rounded. I'm gonna pull out the slicer. Now I'm gonna try and make this use as little filament as possible. Can't be too little, has to still be enough. But I would really like to not waste a lot of filament on this. Okay, persimmon PLA. Sorry. Okay, here we are. Now, I designed this so that, again, you can print it like this if you want. There's going to be some overhangs if you do it like this, but this is a completely valid way to print this. I prefer this way. That's just me. So we're going to go ahead and rotate this 90. Yep. Put that right in the middle. There we go. Okay. Now let's do this. Let's do 0.25 structural. Right. We're going to go into settings here. Yep, we're going to leave that. We're going to go infill. We're going to go gyroid. Or we could do honeycomb. Let's see what honeycomb looks like when we do that. I gotta text somebody something. Alright. I just issued a mission to somebody. That's gonna be fun to see the result. Was it Mother? Nah. Anthrocon is happening currently, and I have friends. I have two friend groups that are going to that. One of them is from the Positron group, and another is just other friends that I've had over the years. And so I just messaged my friend in the Positron group. I said, "Hey, find this group," and I sent them a photo of what they are likely to have as a logo on one of their shirts, and I said, "Tell them Nomad sent you," because it's gonna be really funny if they run into each other. So we'll see what happens. Okay, I am happy with this. I really am. I don't know if I can improve upon this currently. TJL, what's up? Welcome. How are you doing, friend? Yeah, this... Okay, that actually... Yeah, I'm happy with that. That's 4 walls right there on that hole. So that's actually pretty well beefy. Relatively easy to access if maintenance is ever necessary. It's gonna be hell in the front, but we might make a access hatch for various purposes. I don't know how we're gonna do the access hatch right now, but we'll figure it out. Jason, what's up? How's it going, guys? Let's see, who's winning the leaderboard? Got Robin right now. Robin's being an absolute MVP with 100 XP. Thank you, Robin. Then we got RJ with 75 XP, and then Aaron with 75. Geek Toy Box and Koosh and Dark Third Dimension there. And Tech Jeeper, and GTR, and Clownhammer. You guys are all tied for third, actually. I don't know how to get more XP, but that's... I like that. I do like that feature. That's a nice feature. Okay, here we go. So this, as per my previous test, is actually not that big of a deal, and the overhang prints just fine. We've got a couple very normal overhangs there. Okay, how much filament does this use? 1 kilogram. Let's drop the infill down to 5% and see how much that helps. What's with the leaderboard? That is a new YouTube thing that we're checking out. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it is a new thing. You know what could be a fun thing that we do? This could be fun. So, I have 3 spools to give away every week. 3 spools of Jesse Filament. I could say that whoever is the top fan gets a spool. I don't know how that works, but that is a thing we could do. or whoever's the top fan gets 2 entries into the Wheel of Names. Again, I have no idea how you get XP, but that sounds like a fun idea. Only because then it's a little bit competitive for at least one of the spools. You still have an equal chance to get a spool normally. I don't know. I think that'd be kind of funny. But then again, you know, I don't want the spool system to be pay to win, and that sounds like it'd be a slippery slope. It's by typing messages for a few times. Yeah, I think you get XP by doing that. I mean, let me check the leaderboard again. Well, someone named Plague is now rose to 2nd place. Is that Jason? Yeah, that's Jason. Did you say free spools? I did say free spools. Super chats as well. There you go. There you go. Hey, super chats are appreciated. If you guys ever feel generous, super chats are fun. You know, always appreciate that. Trainwrecker, what's up? If that's the case, howdy everybody. See, well, here's the important thing. Okay, so little bit of background stuff. Yeah, pay to win is bad. Pay to win is bad. Engagement is important, and the more people chat and just engage with the stream, including giving the stream a like, that just helps in general. And a lot of the things like we did with the Trevor Project is because of the amount of growth that we have seen as a channel. Because of all of you people, let me be very clear, because of all of you, we were able to raise $7,000 for the Trevor Project. And it is because of your engagement and your growth, and because of how far we've come as a community, is why so many companies wanted to hop in and help support us. I did use the Positron name to kind of levy some support, but all in all, you guys and your engagement with the stream was actually the biggest driving force. So because you guys were engaging with the stream and helping, and we've been doing this successfully for a little over a year, that is why we were able to do something as awesome as the Trevor Project stream. We will be doing that again next year. That is going to become a yearly stream that I do. We're going to be giving away every year. Another thing that I'm going to start doing, which you guys will see below here, I think we're going to start it maybe next week. I don't know. We're going to figure it out. I'm going to start a yearly, if I'm allowed to, a yearly donation for the Trevor Project. So the idea is that throughout the entire year, we're going to raise support for the Trevor Project. It's going to be a year-long fundraiser. And then at the end, then we're going to do a big push. We're going to push hard for that, just like we did with the previous stream. That's what I think we're going to do. That way we can hopefully raise even more money over time. And by doing that, we can just be super, super helpful. Yeah, that was an interesting stream, but killed my battery. Yeah, oh boy, I was dead after that stream. I was just, the next day, I was out. I was gone. It was fun. Oh my god, it was fun. It was so fun to be with all of you. Okay, let me address that real quick. I am not happy with what LDO did at the end there, with that little rug pull. I'm going to make sure that never happens again. At the time, I did not want to cause any issues, and I didn't want to, I just wanted to, it was the end of the stream, I was exhausted, I just wanted it to be over. Because I was tired. We had a great time, but it was the first time I did a marathon like that, and I was reasonably tired. As such, I did not push back on what was told. I should have. Technically, we had an FCC. Technically, that broke rules of giveaways because you are not supposed to have any pay to win thing at all. And I think this is more of a cultural difference between LDO and the United States. They don't fully understand. I don't believe they fully understand the legality of how some giveaways work. And very specifically, since we are not doing a contest. This is not a contest sort of giveaway. A contest needs to be registered in order to actually be legal, because then you are competing in order to win something. A giveaway where you just put your name in, you require nothing whatsoever. That's different, because there's no competition needed in order to win the item, and there's no, if someone, it's equal. Because it is equal, because there's no purchase necessary, because none of this, you're good. There's no, legal things you have to worry about. You can just do it. And then the person who receives the item, if it is of substantial value, will have to mark it on their taxes, because it is technically a gift. So if you received something like a Prusa XL, you have to mark that as a tax write-off, as a tax item. Because you have to pay taxes on any items that you win. This is not legal advice, and this is not financial advice. If it is something like Filament, you don't worry about that, because it's $20 of value there. But if it's something like a Prusa XL, you have to register that you won a Prusa XL in your taxes. It's over a certain amount. I'm using a Prusa XL since that's a $5,000 machine. So I think that's beyond that threshold. But a great example is a car. If you win a car in any form of giveaway, that's awesome. You have to pay taxes on that. And so if you win a Lamborghini, cool. You have to pay taxes on it at market value. That sucks. So be mindful of that. If for example, you get the option of winning a vehicle or a cash prize, take the cash prize so that the taxes can be pulled from the cash prize, and then you can keep the cash after that. If you choose the vehicle, then you have to pay the taxes on the value of the vehicle. And as such, you can get screwed over if you don't have the money for that. So a lot of things go into that. Now that I think about it, I think $20,000 is the limit, or is it $5,000? It is whatever is the limit of what can be considered a gift. And I believe that law is very specific to things such as, I give you such and such in my will. And if you give a certain amount of money over a threshold, you have to pay taxes on that. I believe. I don't remember. Again, I am not a professional legal individual, and I am not a financial advisor. So take everything I'm saying with a grain of salt. Please do your own research. Please consult experts in these subjects. I'm hoping to just spread awareness that this is a thing that does exist. It's not necessarily exactly what I'm saying. So back to what I'm saying. One of the things I'm going to absolutely make sure and be very strict about, and in fact, I'm actually going to make a thing that participants, not participants like you, but participants like LDO have to agree to, is that they agree that the winner of this item cannot be influenced by an amount of donation. It cannot be influenced by any purchase made or any influence the individual has. It is a purely random chance of either they get the item or they don't get the item. There is no if, ands, or buts or in-betweens. It is simply that you either get it or you don't. That way there's no purchase necessary. all the information we gather during the stream is immediately handed off to the companies that handle that item's distribution. And then as soon as that is done, everything is deleted. We do not retain any user data. We do not retain anything that could be compromised or leaked. We delete it right away. As soon as it's of no use to us, we delete it. And then subsequent information handling is handled by these subsequent... I'm gonna have to type up like a document that says, you know, you agree to have your information handed off to subsequent companies if you win that company's thing, and you're covered under their privacy policy, etc., 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 etc. I hope what is evident from this discussion is that I am mindful of not only your data and your privacy, but I am also mindful of ensuring that we do things right. I cannot judge myself. Only you can judge me and my character. And I hope that I can continue to be a positive influence. And I hope that if we make mistakes like what we did on that stream, that we are informed so that we can better ourselves. I am very grateful and very thankful to the individuals who pointed out the problem of what happened at the end of that stream. I knew it was technically an issue because, as you saw, I made a very strong effort to clarify that, like, during the stream, I was trying to make it very clear that based off what I understood, that, you know, it is no purchase necessary, sticking to the no purchase necessary clause. And again, I will be in mission. My exhaustion is what led to the decision to not stick to that, and it's not something I fully thought about. I should have thought about it clearer, and I should have pushed back on it. We all do things differently when we are exhausted, and it's just human nature. We all have faults in some way, shape, or form, and when I'm exhausted, sometimes I can't think clearly. But yeah. My plan for the core one is to build some streams, promote Trevor Project donations. I'm not monetized, so it seems like the best way to give back. Hell yeah, man. Sorry, let me catch up on chats here. Yeah, people who win the Price is Right, yeah. $600. Oh, interesting. Hopefully pay to win. Charity won't happen. Yeah, hopefully not. Don't worry, I didn't get an email about winning. You aren't gonna sell my soul to the devil. Damn. Nope. Not happening. I thought about sniping that kit, but that felt wrong, so I just decided to push this. I appreciate that, man. I really appreciate that. Absolutely, that was about federal withholding. State tax is a whole different matter. 100%. Well, we all know you're a bad influence for our budgets. Yes, I am. Buy some Jesse. This is a threat. One of my favorite lyrics is from Straight Up Manifesto. And it goes, this is not a threat, but it's a promise we will keep. The full context is necessary. Let me pull that up real quick. Street Light Manifesto. This is not a threat. The hands that thieve. Right. It is the hands that thieve. Okay. The chorus literally goes, and I don't care if I lose because my heroes did too. They shouted court should be adjourned because the jury are fools. And the judge can't decipher his left from his right or his right from his wrong. And we will bite the hand that thieves. We will not turn the other cheek. This is no threat. It is a promise we will keep. So what's the point pretending when we've seen behind the curtain and there's not much to see? Nah. I love Streetlight, man. How's Mama Nomad tonight? Mama Nomad's great tonight. Thank you for asking. We're getting ready for just celebrating 4th of July tomorrow. I think we're having crabs. We're just like relaxing at the house and having crabs. Nothing too crazy. We do have a party on Saturday. It's gonna be pretty fun. Can't wait for that. I just finished printing my respooler so I can justify buying more Jessie. Maddow, why do you need a respooler? Don't you know? We're using different spools now? 1 second. Where is it? Okay, whoop, hold on. There it is. Found it. 1 second. How'd she like the print? Yeah, she liked it. She liked it. We haven't actually attempted the heart yet, but we made a little plastic piece for her for a birdhouse that broke, and she loved it. We're also printing little pot stands right now on the minis. She's happy with those too. So, for those of you who don't know, Printed Solid used to use welding wire spools for our filament. And this is what we used. Now, for those of you who have a AMS or, similar system, you would notice that these didn't fit. So, I am very happy to say these are the new Jessie spools right here. See it? It's completely different. It's heating up and I'll show you it. But, a little bit of history. I love telling this history because history is fun, especially after I learned it. So in the early days of 3D printing, we used Weed Whacker line. We literally used Weed Whacker line as our filament because it's kind of an ABS, ASA base. We didn't really know too much about the smells. So we used welding wire line, or welding wire spools, because additionally, what used welding wires was plastic welders. So plastic welders are essentially like the little pens, the 3D printing pens. It's essentially a plastic welder. And they used welding wire spools. So in the United States, they used the US welding wire standard. So this is a standard size for welding machines. So your welding wire would be on this, you put it in the machine, you put the lock on it, and you feed it through. So welding wire came on these spools, and because of just standards and other things, they also made it so that plastic welding wire was also either 2.85 millimeter or 1.75 millimeter. So we adopted the 1.75 millimeter diameter. Because that was the same diameter as Weed Whacker line. Weed Whacker line uses 1.75 diameter. And it was really cheap just buy Weed Whacker for 3D printers. So, we used 1.75 Weed Whacker line. And we used 1.75 welding wire spools. That was the American standard for filament for a long time. For a long time, that was the American standard. And European had their own standard. I guess I'm going to just assume it was the European welding wire standard. And then China also had their own standard. So everywhere had their own standard because these were ubiquitous. These spools were so ubiquitous and so cheap, it just made sense to stick with what was largely available in the market at the time. It did not make sense to make a custom spool for something that, wasn't fully, incorporated as its own industry yet, because again, we're talking about a time where filament wasn't a standard across the industry. So welding wire. So there was the 3 filament spool standards. There was the American standard, the Chinese standard, and the European standard. And this wasn't an issue for a long time because spool holders were literally just sticks that you put it on. And that was it. That was what a spool holder was. You didn't have to worry about whether or not the spool was too wide or too long or whatnot. This also allowed us... One second. because this didn't have such a strict standard, this also allowed us to use larger welding wire spools for 2.3 kilogram filament diameters, or 2.3 kilogram filament capacities. So this is a 2.3 kilogram spool. You can only get this if you order, or if you custom order a large quantity of Jesse. You can't get this directly from the store. We stopped carrying this. It is only for custom orders that specifically request it. So, this is, of course, is another welding wire spool standard for larger machines. Hey, OneRaz, welcome. So, again, if you look at these, they are virtually the same kind of design, just for different capacities. And you can see on the side of the spool, these are features, these holes here, they're features for welding wire. They're not really features for plastic filament. You can see features that you're probably familiar with, like those little 2 dots right there, where you could take the filament out, put it back in, and that's a welding wire thing that we figured out, or that had existed for a while. So, what happened? Well, in comes bamboo. Whether we like it or not, bamboo's the kind of one that caused the issue. So the issue was that rather than design a system that is compatible with all spool standards, Bamboo didn't care. They just designed their AMS for their spools, which is fair. You know, it's like you design a 2D printer. You're going to design it for your ink. You're not going to design it for everyone else's ink. You're going to design it for your stuff. And if other people's stuff doesn't work, too bad, so sad. You want people to get filament from you. You don't want people shopping around. That's just natural business. If you build a printer and you want to have, you know, people buy the material from you, you're going to just design, if you have a multi-material system, you're going to design that multi-material system around your material. Like, even Prusa is technically... Well, no, actually, Prusa has not committed that. So the community edition of the MMU3 mod for the Core 1 is only designed for Prusament spools. For 1 kilogram Prusament spools. That is a community that, while that is made by the Prusa guy, it is not officially made by Prusa. So that doesn't count. But you will design things for what you use mostly on a day-to-day basis. So, again, this company, Bamboo, came out with an enclosed AMS system for multi-material purposes. And it was designed specifically with the Chinese spool standard, or their spool standard, in mind. They did not create it with American welding wire spools in mind. As a result, our spools barely didn't fit. And you can hypothesize why that happened every which way till the cows come home. In the truth, nobody at Bamboo will ever admit why they designed it the way they do, except for we designed it to fit our spools, or that's what they will say. But in truth, by designing it to not be compatible with American spool standards, you immediately cut off American filament manufacturers, which eliminates competition for your machine. Of course, that is one of the easiest forms of DRM to combat, because all you have to do is adjust your product line to fit within that design. So, companies like Protopasta, Polymaker, etc., they all adapted their spools to fit within an AMS. Now, so did Printed Solid. We went to a cardboard spool that fit an AMS, but the problem was they degraded too quickly. The actual cardboard would just fall apart over time. So we weren't happy with it. So we went back to welding wire spools while we looked for a good alternative, which, after some thorough testing, we decided upon this. Let me put this away. This is a spool specifically designed for 3D printers. it gets rid of some of the features that are specific to welding wire spool. But this is specifically designed for 3D printers. It is lightweight. It is far thinner than what we used to use. You can actually tell it is far thinner. This allows us to add more material onto the spool without issues. And because it is thinner, this fits on a larger variety of machines, including the community edition of the MMU enclosure for the Core 1. So, if you use Jesse Filament in an enclosed multi-material system, you likely do not need to re-spool your Jesse anymore. You're good. You can just put it in, and this will work just fine. And because it's plastic, it's gonna spin just fine. Now, some people have asked us, hey, why don't you move to using the Filament spools or using, reusable spools? And the answer is, we get these for really cheap. We want Jesse to continue to be a really cheap spool of filament with really high quality resin. We use the best resin we can get our hands on that is sourced here in the United States. So tariffs will not affect the price of our spools. We will always have the best quality. Like, again, I print all my stuff in Filament settings, and I get Filament quality. We make Filament. We know how to do it right. So, no shocker. So, the spool is one of the ways that we keep the price as low as we do, because we can get these for way cheaper than reusable spools. We want to have a reusable spool. Let me be very clear on that. But this spool can officially be recycled in the recycling system. I believe there is a marker on here somewhere. At least, I believe so. I don't see it. That's weird. It's normally somewhere on here. Weird. It's probably on the inside diameter or something. Anyway. I can tell you though, these are a lot easier to recycle than these were. These are annoying. These are so annoying. They're so heavy too. Like, anyway. I believe these might be ABS. I don't actually know. I don't see any markings on it. All I know is that these are way nicer. And one of the problems with this spool, and because this was a welding wire spool, the only 2 points that you can kind of like loop the filament in on itself is right here. That's it. That's it on the whole spool. You do have these holes here, but this is for welding wire. So the idea is that, you come out and through. But with this, you have 2 points. You have this point and this point, always essentially ensuring that your filament is no longer than like half the spool, so you can put this away really nicely and easily. So it's always really nice. Always works well. Anyway. Yeah, it always felt wasted to recycle those welding spools. 100%. Oh, hi, David. It's ABS. Thank you, David. But yeah, so if you have, a enclosed multi-material system, these will fit better. So you don't have to re-spool them anymore. Gotta go put this back where I want. I certainly like those spools a lot better. Okay. Back to what we were doing. Yeah, God has spoken. Yeah, I agree with the staggered holes. All I know is that, yeah, the splier we have, it's a good deal. Helps us keep the price of Jesse down, which is what we're really happy with, that we're able to provide such a really high quality material for as cheap as we do. Can't beat it. It's great stuff. I aside from the Filament I have, I've been migrating my entire shop over to Jesse. I am honestly shocked that I haven't used Jesse before today. Admittedly, fully admittedly, I kept forgetting that Printed Solid was essentially around the corner from my house until 3D Printopia last year came around, and everyone's like, "Oh, we're gonna go to Printed Solid and do a tour the Monday after Printopia last year," and I was like, "Oh, I want to do that, but I have work, so I can't." David says, if you stagger holes, then you would need 2 different molds and double manufacturing costs. Yep, exactly. It is always, it's always those minute details. David's great for remembering those minute details. So many times where me and Mitch are like, oh, but we can just do it this way. And then David's like, but just do it that. And it's like, oh yeah, that's a lot easier. The one problem with hiring 2 people that overcomplicate things, like, yeah, you hire the guy that does the upside down 3D printing, and then you hire the guy that does the backpack printing. We come up with great ideas. Sometimes we overcomplicate them way too much. You could say we're a little short-sighted. That's good. Yeah, minor changes. Alright, so now this uses only 781 grams of filament. I love how we went on that tangent while we waited for this to slice here. I didn't get here by doing things the hard way. I'm lazy. You know, I have a saying that I've been saying for years, and that is innovation is driven by laziness. We innovate because we don't want to do the work. Why do you think we invented texting? We invented texting because no one wanted to actually make a phone call anymore. It was just easier. Why do you think we invented the smartphones? Because getting to a computer was too cumbersome. We do all these things to simplify our lives and to make things a lot easier. Alright, we're sending this off to Connect. I'm actually pretty happy. Oh, almost printed it as PTG. We want to print this as PLA. Overcomplicated is fun, though. I mean, look at the top hat we're making here. This is definitely overcomplicated. 100%. It will work, and I'm glad it's gonna work, but this is definitely overcomplicated. This is why I do this on my personal time, not on company time. Anyway. So, let me put this on the Core 1 so you can kind of see what it's going to look like. So, that's not bad. That's not bad at all, actually. I thought it would look like a weird humpback whale. That doesn't look like a weird humpback whale. I like it. And I bet you, if we print this... Whoa, hello, camera. That was weird. If we print this in a Galaxy Black PLA, it's going to blend in really nicely with the Core 1. Currently, I'm printing it in a natural PLA just to get rid of my natural PLA because I'm not a huge fan of natural PLA. Now put a light in it facing down on and a web camera mount. Well, actually, we have a webcam in there. We have an ESP32 camera. Where did I put it? Yeah, we got this little guy. We have a buddy camera-like enclosure with this guy in it inside the Core 1. It's working great. But yes, it needs LEDs. So that's probably going to be something we add as an integration idea here. So if we go back to the screen cap. So there is plenty of room in here for us to do various activities. And I intentionally left this open so that we can experiment with that. So if we go ahead and look at the CAD here. So let me hide the construction planes. What we should be able to do is we should be able to put an LED strip literally directly underneath the MMU here, and that's going to give some backlight as well. These here, you have a lot of space to actually attach LEDs to the entire bottom part of this, because it literally just replaces the top acrylic panel. You can do a lot with this. One of the things I'm thinking of doing is there's a ton of headers, and I think this is actually a populated board on here, so we can actually look at it. One second. Where is this board? Okay, let's isolate that. Where's the isolate button? Did they move the isolate button? They better not have. No. No. Did they? Show all components. Holy crap, they did. Why would they do that? Well, that's annoying. Anyway, we'll just look at the ghost of it. There is a lot of unused headers on the MMU. So, we should be able to siphon some 5-volt power off of this without causing any issues. So we could use that to power a couple LEDs. Shouldn't be too much of an issue. That should be a very simple DuPont connector modification. So since this is using it's using the push click DuPont connectors, so it's compatible with DuPont plugs. We should be able to create essentially a male to female DuPont connector to just bridge the two DuPonts and then literally split off some 5-volt wires so that the LEDs turn on with the MMU. And technically, I'm just surprised, like, Bruce hexagon shape. We might. This is still prototype proof of concept. I rounded everything off. I'm not a super fan of how this looks. It looks a lot better than the first prototype. Let's be real. This is already leagues better, but definitely already thinking about where to put some hexagons. Definitely already thinking about that. Everyone here will ignore us till we grow. Hey, what's up, Taylor? I just got back from that Streetlight concert last week. That was so good. So excited for the new album. So, for context, here was our first prototype. Yeah, this ain't great, Chief. It works. Like, the MMU is able to mount in there, but yeah, this was not good at all. This was the mounting proof of concept. I probably should have not printed this as complicated as I did. Yo, you're seeing Botar in September? I'm jealous. I have a Botar poster and flag and t-shirt, but yeah. This was the previous iteration. And you can access, I'm using the Ulti-Multi. What's nice is that I can actually get my hands in here and do some blind stuff. Obviously, the PTFE tube fits really nicely, so that's good. Actually, removing that PTFE tube is not necessarily easy, but if I kind of hug it, we're definitely going to have to design like an access door. This is gonna be one of the oversights of this design, like 100%. Oh, come on, seriously? Did I say this was a prototype? Oh, come on. This isn't wanting to come out. Oh, seriously? Ah! Got it. An access door would go a long way to make this whole situation a lot better. There we go. So now let's look at the new one. So I have to figure out the cable, because I still don't really know how we're routing the cable. Actually, hold on a second. We're canceling the print that the XL was about to do, because I completely forgot about how we're routing the cable. So it's on... Oh shit, I just broke off... Uh-oh. How did that happen? What? I've never seen a PTFE break like that. What the hell? It literally broke off inside the thing. How's the air conditioner fun coming? I should probably restart that at some point. Oh my god, wow, that sheared. That sheared the PTFE tube. That's a clean cut. Damn. Well, thankfully I don't have to redo that. Anyway. We have to figure out the routing for that. So. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this in. I do really love how that just clicks in. I mean, we could design a hatch for access. I feel like we have enough material to do that. I'm thinking here. The question is just how would we seal it? That is the important question. How would we seal said hatch? And honestly, I don't want to deal with that right now. But we do have to deal with the cable. We have to figure that out. That needs to be figured out. I can't just, do the cable as it is right now. It has to come out the back. So what we need to accommodate is this connector here. VHB. Yeah, VHB is something we can do, but Nomad breaking barriers and PTFEs tonight. There we go. Alright, so... The MMU is not designed to be mounted in this orientation. It really relies on gravity. Okay. So, we have to account for this connector here. Just out the back. And then, honestly, a hole only as big as this would not cause many issues for anything. So... Okay. I do still love how this turned out in PGGCF. This looks so good. Anyway. Let's go ahead and just unplug this. Yeah, so if we look at this, actually there is a, hold on, let me swap over to the live view here. So if we look at this, here's our power board right here. So this just plugs right into here. Just like that. And that is what provides power and data to the MMU. From the MK4, etc. So there is this header here, which I don't know what it is naturally, but that is unused. It's completely unused. So we can figure out what that is. Oh, whoops, the donation bar is still there. Hide that. So we can try and figure out what that is and see if we can draw power from that. I don't see why we couldn't. It might be an input. It could be an output. I don't know. We can figure that out together. Yeah, this little connector right here. There's also these 6 pins here, which also could be output potentially. We'll see. We shall see. Yeah, this is, if you don't know, this is the Ulti-Multi MMU. I really like the look of it, and I use P2G-CF so that some items will intentionally wear over time, hopefully increasing reliability. But it also may not. Oh, I see a bulge there. It's not good. Rising the material retained its shape. Okay, anyway. The other mod I was thinking of doing is the 25 filament mod, because there is a mod for the MMU that allows you to do like 25 or 12 spools of filament. I was looking at that and very interested. But the idea is that this is going to be a very reliable MMU. So anyway, we got to plan for this. So let's go ahead and measure it. And to zero it, not... Okay, there we go. So the largest this is, we got to measure the diagonal measurement, because we need the absolute largest. So here's a trick. If you're ever trying to make a hole for something, take it and try and rotate it in between the calipers. And yes, let it be loose. You don't want this to be precise, because what you essentially want to do is figure out any orientation that cable can come through. So like, you just mess around with it. You want it to be the maximum distance to give it as much room to wiggle as possible, because otherwise you might make something that's a little too tight. So 15, a diameter of 15.4 should be well enough to kind of fit this in any which direction. Yeah, so that should be good. 15.5 is what we'll go with. So that just needs to be at the bottom here. So we're just going to go here. From this circle, we're just going to drop down to right here. And then what we're going to do, simple circle tool. I am not showing you guys what we're doing. We're going to go simple circle tool, 2-point circle. And then we're going to do 15.5. Oh, that is not 15.5. There we go, 15.5. Done. Now that should be just enough. There we go. And then the MMU cable will just drop down through there, connect to the MMU. Now, what I could do is on this side, I could make a little insert that is specifically designed to go around this cable. And that's what we'll do. We're going to make a little insert that's specifically designed to go around this cable. Who's messaging me? We'll find out in a second. So that's going to be 8.4. Yeah, it can be TPU. Alright, so we edit this again. And then we're just going to do simple. Right here, 8.4. I'm going to bump it to 8.5 just for some safety margins here. And then I'm going to take this, extrude this out. What? The object you're creating is not visible. Oh, well, that's why. Alright. Yep, we'll just do... Yeah, 4 mil should work. Okay, and then what we'll do here... Another new sketch. I want this to kind of just slot over the cable. It doesn't really need anything fancy. So we're just going to drop that down. Use offset. And then we're going to do 2 sides. And then, so we did 8.5, so we want to do 4.25. Sketch. Oh. Shit. Go back into the sketch. Okay, that's being weird. Let's connect these two, I guess. There we go. There we go. So that's just a little thing that slides over. Then we create another sketch. These are too many sketches, but it works. Way too many sketches. We do this. We turn off 2 sides, turn off chain selection, and we turn off these internal points here. Come on. Okay, try to do this again. Offset just that outer rim. No, turn off chain selection. Stop it. Come on, seriously? Okay, offset, turn off chain selection, just the outer rim. Thank you. Turn off 2 sides. And then we're just going to extend this out like 2 mil. Make sure to save, probably going to have it. Well, hey, it's been a pleasure hanging out with you, man. Alright, then we just take those, and we drag that out a bit. Just needs to be like 2 mil, nothing crazy. There we go. And we just take this, and that, and we're just going to kind of round that out a bit. Just like that. There we go. Take that and that, do the same thing. There we go. All right. I'm really starting to think that I'm just going to make this a thing you print on the XL. Because the idea of... Oh, shit. Oh, no. I forgot to account for this. These are still geometric-ish crap. Ah! Hold on. Gotta remove a body. Remove. Okay. Hold on. We can fix this. We can fix this. Left. Project. Okay. Finish sketch. Okay. Then what we do here is we just go in. Watch this. Watch this. And we just do this until it kind of matches. Again, not the way you should be doing this. At all. But it works. Nah! Too much. That's touchy. There we go. That's it's okay. That's really touchy. Wow. Okay, hold on a second. Let's just do that. You and you. Okay. Then you. Nope, not you. Then you. And you. Oh, God. Okay, there we go. Cool. Okay, then add new. Done. Whew. There we go. That makes my life easier. It's not perfect, but it does kind of unify the design language that we've moved to. So, yay. Now, I wanted, so I've started adding an Easter egg to what I CAD, and I'm gonna let you guys in on this Easter egg. Actually, do I even have it uploaded? I don't. Okay, I'm gonna have to upload the Easter egg and then show you guys another time. Essentially, I've been putting Callie on as many things as I can, because why not? What's fun is that if it's for work, I put a little doggo, little Jesse. Okay. I think I'm happy with things. It's alright if that's a little, you know, edgy there. Oh, excuse me. Where's the isolate button? There it is. Yeah. Chamfer. Let's just do about right there. Pull that back. The MMU does not require ventilation, from what I understand. So this should work just fine. Alright. Unisolate. There we go. And hide construction. Alright. Save. All right. I wouldn't call it stylish, but you know what? I'll take the compliment. I wish I could do more, but I need to keep this part flat because this has to remain essentially as thick as the original acrylic, especially in this middle area here. Because if that was any larger, then that would just be problematic. So I have to leave that. I miss a boatload. Family is very confusing. Well, hey, welcome back. This should work. Oh no, this won't work. Oh no! We changed the internal geometry. Ah. Okay, this is a relatively easy thing to fix, but we did change the internal geometry. So I'm gonna remove this mirror here. Alright, we're gonna isolate this. Because we changed the internal geometry, all of this is now broken. Unisolate. Let me isolate you. Why won't you let me isolate you? Okay, fine. Alright, so we have to delete this. All of this. Yeet. 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 There we go. Deleted. Okay. So, take this back. So we're going to go ahead and create a sketch plane right there. Okay. We're going to project this. Okay. Now we're going to hide this. Now, what we're going to do is we're just going to take that internal, hit cancel, internal chain selection, that whole inner portion. And what we're going to do is we're going to just drop that by about -2. Just like that. Okay. Finish sketch. Reveal the sketches again. And we're going to take that. Yeah, that should work. Actually, let's undo that. Nope, let's redo that. And we edit the sketch. And let's edit that to -3. Just want to see if that changes this corner here. Yep, it does. Okay, cool. Okay, so then we grab this and we extrude this by like 5 mil. 5 mil will be just fine. Hit join. Now we have this internal thingamajig. So we're gonna go ahead and round this a bit. There we go, just to make things a little bit easier for us. Okay, now we take this and let's see. Will this let us? No. Okay, let's undo what we just did. And let's see if this lets us do what we want to do. Okay. Let's do equal distance. Okay, so let's go over here and do it there. And then whatever this was, let's paste it. Okay, so let me do that. Cool. That's weird that it stopped right there. Okay, so let's do it again. Doot. Doot. Oh. Uh-oh. It didn't like that. Okay, we're just going to remove that. Okay, that doesn't like that either. Just do that much then. I'm not liking this. Like, this will work. This will work, but I don't like it. What I don't like is this corner here. I really don't like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select that. We're going to hide the MMU because the MMU is just getting in the way. Take that. Oh, I see why I really don't like it. Okay. There we go. Finish sketch, and then we're just going to flatten that piece. There we go. That's much better. That is so much better. Holy crap. Alright. We take this. Now, hopefully this lets us do too distant. Oh my god. It's so much easier now. Look at that. Are you doing heat inserts? No, just threading into plastic. There we go. So by removing that little spur that we had there, immediately everything's going to fit. If we bring this back in... Yep, that's fine. That is a totally fine thing. That works. Oh, hold on a second. Did I forget to measure this? What's the distance? Oh, yeah, we're fine there. Alright. Okay, that looks a lot nicer now. Especially now that that kind of works with everything. I'm happy with it. This looks weird. I don't really know how I'm gonna fix that. Let's try. You know what? Let us try and fix it. So let's do this. Let's do the offset here. Now let's kind of line it up right. Let's do this the right way. Let's measure the distance between these two. It's 1.75. Okay, so we're gonna go in here. We're gonna make that 1.75. 1.75. Okay. There we go. So now, yep, that's its own thing. We leave that. This is just us trimming some stuff up. So yeah, this is the only weird part. We're gonna hit finish sketch, and we're just going to slice that off. So now it is uniform to the shape of the entire piece. Oh, that's so much better. Look at that. That's just so much better. It's subtle. It's very subtle. But it's better. So we got 3 points of contact. That does mean that this is kind of going to be a little loose, but like there's not much material for me to work here. Needs some branding. It does, but for now, we're not going to worry about that. Just don't want to be bothered. Branding is fun, but it does take effort. Alright, I'm really trying to think what else is critical. What else do we really need? What do we need versus what is a want? I want to have a hatch here for accessing the MMU. And that does technically count as a need. Like that is technically something you need, because trust me, you want to be able to access this thing. But can I live without it? That is the question. This is going to be multiple prints. Or is it different colors for multicolored? I mostly use my MMU as a buffer, so I can have multiple kilograms of filament loaded into one machine. That's how I normally use it. But yes, I typically do have a contrasting color in there as well. So if I'm using black, I'll typically have white, so that I can do things like text and whatnot. So yes, it is mostly for filament runout, or what Bruiser calls spool joining, but it is also for multicolor when I want to do it. Oh, talking about the fusion color, it's black and gray. That's a new feature that you can enable. It's a preview feature. All right. Yes. More RGB access to the MMU3 is a must. The RGB can come later with tape. I'm not worried about that. I am worried about access. And my problem is I don't know how to solve that problem right now. Yeah, I'm thinking of flip top cover as well, but I'm trying to figure out how would I... Hold on. I may have just figured it out. So let's go here. Let's do a reverse. Okay. We're gonna hit OK here. Alright, so we're gonna do it just above this hole here. Yeah, right at that green line. Okay, watch this. So I'm actually gonna do circle, 2 point. Just like that, right? Watch this. Project that line. Done. Okay. Now that's weird. Oh, right, because it's... Yeah, that's gonna be a thing. Okay. That's all the way through. I could reutilize that. Do I? I could reutilize that as a pivot. I could make this a really simple thing. I'm gonna have to add a screw point down there, though, if I do this. Okay, so we're gonna do it. Essentially, go here. We're gonna do to here. Then have that attached there. Make this a 90 degree. Dave recommends removable instead of flip top. I'm thinking that as well. So if I bring that there. Okay, so watch this. So finish sketch. Here's my idea. I'm gonna have to modify this piece a bit, but here's the idea. If I just slice this right here, look at that. That gives me full access to the MMU. Minus like right here, but that's as easy as me just trimming this away. If it doesn't yell at me for doing that. Yeah, it's not liking that, so I'm just going to trim that by using... fuck it, I'll just create a sketch and do it the way that you definitely shouldn't do. I can hear David judging my CAD skills. All the way from Delaware. Okay. I'm judging more than just that. Hey, my life decisions are my life decisions. If my phone starts ringing, I am definitely blaming you, Robin. Or, RJ, sorry. Read the last name that was on that screen there. And that was the wrong name. Okay. So, if we bring this sketch back. Wrong sketch. We bring this sketch back. And we just go right back in here. Oh, hold on. We got to trim that away. So let's undo that. Is it not 2? There we go. Let's set that to 1. Perfect. So, okay, hold on. If we do this way, that will have a little bit of a clasping force, which I kind of want, because that can help hold it in place. A little bit of support there. This looks like, that looks like it should work. So that gives me full access to the top part of the MMU. Full access. Completely unrestricted. So now we pull this back. And then... It's your stream. Blame who you want. Exactly. Alright. Now, I'm doing this entirely the lazy way. And I should feel bad about myself for the way I'm doing this. And I will feel bad about myself for the way I'm doing this. Let that be known. I don't even know how I'm going to print that. That's not printable. None of this is really printable at all. We've just designed something that's, 1, a pain in the ass to print, and 2, I'm going to hate myself when I do print it. Royally. But this gives a full-on access hatch to the MMU so that I don't have to take the whole damn thing apart. It has... This likely will cause a little bit of clamping force, potentially. Don't know. I don't think it has enough of a bite to really do anything, but we'll see how it behaves. So the idea right now is that let's just grab this, project that circle, finish sketch, punch a hole through. Okay. And then modeled that right there. Yeah, I'm thinking hinge based right now, but just using an M3 screw in from the side. Simple. My brain's going, I'm really not trying to overcomplicate this, but I've already overcomplicated way beyond what is necessary. So let's look at the construction planes. We're going to mirror this. There we go. Okay. So here's the downside to this idea. We have just removed a point at which there can be an attachment done. And this is relatively thin, but should be fine. Should not really be a major issue. And okay, let's see here. There's still an attachment point here. Still an attachment point down there. I need an attachment point down here. That's gonna be relatively easy. So let's undo what we just did here real quick. All right. Let's hide this body. You need complicated when engineering. You say that. Not a fan of this at all. but it'll be fine. Should be fine. Really. Yeah, the XL. This is going to be printed on the XL. Not a fan of it. Not a fan, but it should be okay. Should be fine. It's a weak point. That is a weak point. But that is also not the part of the model that is structural. Most of the weight is actually in the middle of this part. Because the weight of the MMU is immediately put onto the edges and is immediately put onto the frame of the printer from here. From this area right here. So this isn't really structural, aside from holding up this piece here, which is problematic. Okay, so undo what I just did. Okay, so we are only going to... We're not going to... The other ones, out of laziness, I did as a through hole. We are not going to do a through hole here, because that actually can and will cause problems. So what we will do is -10. Let's go 15. Okay, -15. So, yeah, M3 by 10 will work just fine. Actually, I will just do by 20. That way I can use a longer screw. Now I'm just going to go in here, thread, modeled for M3. Before I do that, I'm going to go to the other side of the model. Create sketch. I'm just going to project that onto the other side. What the? Oh, whoops. There we go. Okay, so there we go. Because we're actually doing it properly, we're not being lazy and putting a through hole all the way through. That retains structural integrity here in the middle so that this doesn't just snap off, which is good. We don't want that to just snap off. Okay. Technically, I should do that here, but it's whatever, it's fine. As well as there. Again, whatever, it's fine. Okay, now we want to do that up here. So, arbitrary hole. Oh, actually, we need to make sure there's space for the screw head. Right there. Alright, this one, I'm gonna be a dummy. Alright, kids, do as I say, not as I do. Okay, so now I need to incorporate those new mounting points. So project. There we go. I should have done this before I threaded that. Whatever. Okay. Fusion ain't happy. Oh, it is 10:30. You know what that means. Now, it is, while it is a Thursday, it is also not a work night. So we're going to go possibly a little bit later than normal. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you to the wonderful David. We are able to do a filament giveaway. So, if you want a chance to win some amazing Jesse filament, go ahead and hop in to that giveaway link there. And we'll do the drawing around 11 o'clock or so, a little bit closer to when we actually end the stream. Massive shout out to Printed Solid and, of course, to David for allowing us to give away this filament. I know a lot of people have actually been introduced to Printed Solid and to Jesse through this, which is awesome. I love more than anything is when we get when someone joins these giveaways and it's the first time they're getting Jesse. I love that so much because you get to try something new, and at least in my opinion, you get to try something that's really high quality and introduces you to something that you may not have thought to try before. That's the important thing. It is natural for someone to get into the habit of, I know this one brand, I like this one brand, this is the one brand I'm going to stick with. I will fully admit that I got into that habit, and there was essentially one brand that I would always buy, and that was it. But since I started working at Printed Solid, I was obviously very exposed to Jesse. And in-house, all we have is Jesse and Filament. And honestly, yeah, I don't touch anything else at all. I use our PS imports sometimes, because we need carbon fiber. Well, we don't need carbon fiber, but I want the carbon fiber texture on some prints that we do. So I'll use that. But good stuff. I mean, all the projects that we've done in the past 6 months have been exclusively Filament and Jesse. It's great stuff. Like, half this desk is printed with Jesse. So, yeah. To whoever wins this, if it is your first time getting Jesse, I hope you like it. And I hope it kind of opens your eyes to a new possibility and a new vendor. Come on, Lady Luck. Daddy need a new spool of Ruby Red. Tell David you're doing a 24-hour stream and won't be in tomorrow. Or if you do, you're live on the air. Okay, well, let's send it my way and we're all happy. I bet the employee discount doesn't hurt. Yeah. Fusion is really not happy with this projection. It's still thinking. Good thing we saved recently. I wonder, who's at the top of our leaderboard tonight? Yeah, it's still Robin. Robin leading with 225 XP, with Clown Hammer at 135, and RJ Repo at 150. A lot of people are tied for 150, but yeah, I like that. The leaderboard is fun. Did you save, says RJ? Recently, yes. Of course Robin's at the top, right? Man, I've used so much filament prototyping this thing so far. I am so glad I'm using a filament that I really don't enjoy using. I have a lot of this matte PLA that I'm trying to get rid of. I might actually print the final version in that because I am actively trying to get rid of that filament. I do not want it anymore. So I'm probably going to print the final version in the matte filament I'm trying to get rid of. MJ, know if you lurk. Well, MJ, I do appreciate you coming out from the lurking and saying hello. Let's, hey, you know what really helps? Liking and subscribing. Oh, hey! Fusion did the thing. Save. We're saving. We're saving right now. We're saving right now. No, we're not. We're not fuffing around with that. Fucking around. What? Okay. Ah, no, left. Thank you. Show your support and like the stream. Well, thank you, man, for doing that call out. You know me. I don't do that often enough. Oh, he doesn't like that. It's a good thing we just saved. And, oh, yeah. We have a lot of great colors, and you know what's awesome? We just restocked essentially all of our colors. So, plenty to choose from. You just need to make me a mod. You know, maybe. I have vanilla bean ice cream right up here. I love it. I don't know what I'm going to print with it, though. But that's because I do a lot of functional prints. I don't do a lot of aesthetic prints. Like, I make things for my girlfriend, sure. But I really need to figure out more aesthetic prints to do. What I want to do... I just had... Okay. Hey, Rob, what's up? I just had a great idea for vanilla bean ice cream. So, there is this Japanese wood paneling that you get for, like, wall landscapes. And it's like thousands of dollars to get if you actually get it made of wood. But someone figured out how to 3D print it. And I just realized that would look great as mountaintop pieces for like little pieces of marble. What the RJ, what? You're gonna meet my significant other and then you're gonna possibly regret those words. I don't know. Oh, hi, Callie. Hello. Alright, I need to clean that up. I'll do that soon. Shit. Maybe one day. I like to keep that part of my life separate. Like you guys get to see a lot. I pull the veil away a lot, but understand that stuff, yeah. Come on, Fusion, can you just make the circle? All I asked of you is to make a 3mm diameter circle. That's all I told it to do. I can't even export, like, part of the model to try and start print. Oh, I just realized how much of a pain in the ass that one thing's gonna print. Why did we decide to do it the way we did? Blame David. No, we can't blame David. This is all my fault. What are you talking about? Last week you had your work wife on stream. Wait, what? Oh, Mitch? That took me a minute to process. Wow. Oh my god. If my computer wasn't currently processing the entirety of the galaxy in order to make this 3mm circle, I would have snapshotted that and sent it to him. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's talking about Mitch. Look, we may be part of the Lollipop Guild, but we're not attached to the hip. Holy shit, Fusion, please. It's a 3mm circle. Can I... Autodesk Fusion is not responding. I hate this program. Fusion is not happy. It hard crashed. Oh my god. Fusion ever happy? No. I do prefer SolidWorks. I will say that. I have a copy of SolidWorks that I use from time to time. But I just know Fusion better. I just know Fusion better. That's my problem. I was about to say, don't tell us you're walking around the warehouse oompa loompa doopy dee dee. David, that's why I use Microsoft 3D. What are you and Carl in cahoots? Turn that off because I need to make sure I load the file without showing off anything. Yeah, FreeCAD on Windows is a struggle bus. I tried to load the Positron CAD into FreeCAD and it crashed the program. So, yeah. Come on, Fusion. You know you want to open it. Watch the file get corrupted, and then we can't open it ever again. It's very possible. Next stream, Nomad cleans his desk. I feel like that's appropriate. I got so much stuff. And the worst part is, like, my mom gives me things to make. Like, I don't need this anymore. I don't know where to put this. I want to say, does anyone want a weird rock ashtray? But I don't even know if I'm allowed to give this away. I don't know where she got this. I don't know where to put it. I don't know where it goes. It's just on my desk now. I guess I'll take up smoking. I'll borrow a cig off somebody. I don't know. Don't. That's a joke. Please, if you don't smoke, do not get into it. That was a joke. It could be a screw holder, but like, it's so small. This feels better. This feels more appropriate for soap. This feels far more appropriate for soap. This doesn't even look like a... This was never used. Yeah, this was never used. This was purchased and left somewhere and never used. There's no residue. There's no smell. There's nothing. TJL, you say that. My mom said it was. I have reason to believe my mother. I don't know, man. I'm gonna put this somewhere else. The weird rock is gone. Oh, woo! Hello, acid. Can you not? I'm not making my mom the bread tie thing. No, we are not doing that. No. Fusion, load the file. I think we may have corrupted the file. It is on the struggle bus right now to open this file. I don't want to roll back the file. You see, Clown Hammer. That's funny. Oh my god. The worst acid reflux is like the kind that like doesn't burn immediately. It's like just a tinge, and it tickles your throat for like a while after. That's the worst. The ones that are immediate pain, they suck. But at least you know there's pain. Anyway, RJ, that's funny. I don't do that. When I have a migraine, I get the gummies. But it's a very small amount. Jersey is a legal state. Consult a doctor before ever doing anything that can change the chemistry of your brain. I am not a medical expert. I am fat. That also doesn't make me an expert on food. We're waiting on fusion right now. Alright. I'm closing fusion because fusion's taking forever to load this file. And it's actually causing my computer problems. So end the task. Let's reload fusion, and we're going to load an earlier version of the file. Hopefully we don't lose much. Yeah, look, we got great food here. Got great food. Being fat kind of implies that you're an expert at food. I disagree, only because you could definitely gain a ton of weight with just McDonald's. And that doesn't mean you're an expert at food. You might be an expert at a type or specific food, but definitely not all food. There's McDonald's ashtrays? Oh, I guess that's a different time. Okay. Let's roll this back to version 10. Oh, no, version 10 is... We're not rolling back to version 10. Nope. No, we're not doing it. Oh. Alright. Hold on a second here. Yeah, we are not rolling this back to version 10. What I'm going to do is I'm going to download the step. Version 7. No, 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 no. Version 11. Wait, why is it saying version 7? Is the file name version 7? Oh, it is. Okay. Why did I make the file name version 7? Whatever. Yeah, Fusion 360 has left the chat 100%. I'm gonna re-download it as a fresh step file, open it, and we're gonna reset the timeline. That's what we're gonna do. Your laptop would have been finished. Yeah. My laptop is newer than my desktop, but both are getting old. Both are getting really old. Let's see. What even is running this desktop? DirectX dialog. Let's have a look at this. They're going to send me a link to the file once it's done. Alright, so right now, obviously we're running Windows 11. My processor is an i9 9900K at 3.6 gigahertz. I have 49 gigabytes of RAM, and my graphics card is a 2070 Super with... Is that 32 gigs of RAM? No, 8 gigs of RAM. We have 8 gigs of RAM. It's sharing additional RAM. So, yeah. I'm a couple generations behind. Just a couple. I haven't invested in this computer in a long time, man. Why are you surprised? What the hell? I updated that. Why is that not updated anymore? Oh, it didn't save, that's why. Alright, let's open up Parsec while we wait for Fusion to do the thing. I gotta do something on another computer, actually. Real quick. So remoting into another PC. Don't worry about it. Alright, and then... There we go. Updated. And then I'm just going to do this real quick. second. Doing a little graphic design thing real quick. Can't really show what I'm doing right now, so sorry. Alright, let's see what that looks like. 1 second, guys. Oh, that's terrible. Sorry. She got to catch the stream. How's everyone? Hey, Hobo Banana, what's up? On PCI 80 handle interrupts. It was 2 and 9. What system? To Clown Hammer or J Rubo? Yeah, I need to upgrade. I'm thinking of framework. Framework is what I'm thinking of right now. Gotta find a good image of the core one. For reasons. Shush. Ooh, there we go. Save image. Yep, let's see. Can I use that? That works. Oh, that works really well, actually. Cool. Hey, you guys want to see something cool? In my off time, I've been working on this. Check out the r/Prusa3D subreddit right now. And, let me know what you think. See what it looks like on my phone. Let me make sure. Okay, cool. Alright, yeah, it's updating. Cool. We updated the banner and the icon for the Prusa3D Reddit, because for the longest time, it was the Prusa MK3. So it has been updated in a bit. So we finally updated it to the core one. It's been a bit. The subreddit has definitely has needed some attention. But yeah, now it's all up to date there. I figured the X-axis would look cool as the banner. I thought that would look neat. On the phone, it actually looks pretty cool. At least on my phone, because you can actually see the entirety of the X gantry. In all of its glory. Where's this file? Did it go to spam? No, but apparently Printed Solid feedback goes to spam. You know, it's really funny. Because I buy stuff from Printed Solid, I get the automatic email. Please leave feedback. I can't leave feedback. I can't. I want to leave feedback, but I can't. Because I work for Burn and Solid. I'm biased. So you should, whenever you guys get Jesse from the giveaway, make sure to leave a review. It does mean a lot to us, actually. Please be fair in your review. Like, if you like the filament, if you don't like the filament, be honest. And like, be honest how you got it. Like, yeah. It helps more than you know. Where the hell is this file? Bruh. Alright, hold on. Can I share link? Allow item to be downloaded. Share latest version. We'll be doing I think we'll do the giveaway in a moment here. Okay, I'm gonna copy this. We're gonna open up the file in a window here, and I'm going to force it to download the step file. What? Why is it giving me admin project? No, don't give me admin project. Copy. I mean, cool. I have the 3D model now. Please do not kick me. I hate you, Fusion. I hate you, Fusion. I hate you, Fusion. I hate you, Fusion. Okay. Open guest window. Go to the file. As a guest. Thank you. Download as a... I swear to God. Okay, so I have the file in browser right now, and I'm looking at it. And I know what's going on. That one sketch plane that we made is bogging down the file really hard right now. Oh, there's the download file. Okay. That took no time at all. Cool. All right. We're going to upload this file. Yep. And we're going to try it again. I'm going to call the file. Oh. That's a baseball. And if you get that reference, you are one of my new best friends. Good luck, Rob. Good luck, buddy. Hey, if you figure out all of that, please let me know too, because... anyway. Not the channel for that. Not the channel for that. Trust me, I would love to be the channel for that, but I am not the channel for that. Come on, upload the file so I can open it and get it over with. I am tired. Hey, RJ, it's a good anime. It's good anime. Don't remind me that specific season came out 10 years ago. I don't want to hear it. Fucking... Golden Wind was great. That came out after I graduated. But my favorite, by far, is Diamond is Unbreakable. It's the best. So good. Should I give RJ moderation powers specifically for understanding that that was a JoJo reference? Should I? I love how Robin is, like, also fighting to be, like, number one. I see it hopping around every once in a while. Like, Robin and RJ are, like, fighting for the crown right now. Oh my god, it's still uploading. Oh, we're gonna be here forever, aren't we? Ah! I knew it was JoJo reference, but didn't care enough to explain it. Oh, Hobo Banana. That's why you and I are just friends. I'm sorry. I had to follow through with that joke. RJ changes one spool a month to be... I mean, that is something I could easily fulfill. That's easy. Upload in progress 50%. It's still uploading, guys. Ah! Okay. Everyone here has been waiting patiently for the Filament giveaway. I'm getting a little tired. So, I will leave it up to chat. Filament now or at end of stream. To make keyword just die? No. Slide to the left. Slide to the right. Crisscross. Everybody spool your filament. Spool, 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 spool. I am a benevolent streamer. I listen to the chat. I'll let this run for another minute or two. I love how chat has decided to do the cha-cha slide. Go ahead, chat. Cha-cha slide it up. I am very tempted to, like, now do chat plays cha-cha slide, and I mimic what you're telling me to do as part of the cha-cha slide. How do you know Nomad is running on smoke? I mean, you guys have seen the stream where Fusion broke me, right? You've seen that, right? That is a thing you've witnessed, right? So, okay, let's slide to the left real quick. I broke the positron CAD in a way that caused me to have to undo all the work I did. Because it happened so early on in the stream that my undo button literally would not go far back enough. And it was caused by the fact that by default, if you click and drag any object in Fusion, it will move its position. Where normally in any other program, clicking and dragging selects multiple things in a box because that's the normal behavior. So give me a second here. I know that I'm allowed to show this because it's my own stream. So we're going to pause the music for a second. Okay. We're gonna open up YouTube. I have a clip of this. We're gonna enjoy this clip together. Where's my clips? My clips. All right, close the video I was watching recently because we definitely don't want to show that right now. All right, you guys are saying now. We'll do the poll in just a moment, or we'll do the giveaway in a moment. Let me find this. Where is it? Okay, Fusion Breaks Nomad. Here we are. So, screen cap. Set this to Vivaldi. Okay, here we go. This is fine. This is fine. Why would this be not fine? Why? You know, having the ability to drag now, that's not, you know, the default behavior for every single application ever designed for Windows. No, not at all. You know, whenever I highlight a word in Word, I don't want to highlight the word. I want to drag the individual letters across my entire document and just randomly drop it off somewhere in my essay. What? Selecting? You want to select words? That's funny. This is yeah. Also, was that doubled up audio for you guys? Because that was weird. That shouldn't have been doubled up. Why was that doubled up? Oh, that's why. Has that been doubled up this whole time? Has the music been doubled up this entire time and no one said anything about it? Or has the music just been too quiet for anyone to notice? Oh, audio sound effect? Okay. For whatever reason, it was set to also monitor the output of the audio, and so as a result, it was double audio for me, so that was weird. And normally when that happens, you guys are somehow able to hear it, so thankfully that didn't happen. Okay, anyway, if you're not in the chat, we're doing a Filament giveaway. We're gonna do that. We're gonna do that now. Let me open up Edge. You haven't heard any? Oh, well, that's because it's been really quiet. That's why. All right, where is Edge? Edge. Because I use a browser I don't like to use in order to do the thing that I want to do. Yo, what? Alright, fine. We'll show you my voice meter. Hey guys, look at that. It's a voice meter. Isn't that neat? Wait, why is it... Oh, wait, there's Emma's Edge. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd you go? There you are. Clear this out. Alright. You guys have had over so much time to do this, so we're closing the entries. Gonna grab all the names. Hey, you want to go on a Royal Caribbean trip? I don't. Go away. Alright, we got 44 entries and 44 names. Let's shuffle, 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 and let's see who wins some filament. So you guys been, yeah, 47 minutes. You guys have been waiting 47 minutes. Thank you for waiting 47 minutes. Let's see who actually wins this. Trust me, I'm tired too. Yeah, good luck, everybody. Well, John, we're going to find out. Because for this giveaway, you have to be here in order to win. Hanson Hollers, are you here, buddy? Are you here? Give you a minute to respond. Let's see if you're here. It is 11:18 right now. So once my phone says 11:19, you haven't responded yet. We're gonna spin it. Ah, there you are. What's up? Congratulations, Hanson. You have won spool filament. Let's see. What did you want? Congratulations, man. You got... First, let me grab that. Royal Ruby. Nice. Alright, let me go ahead and create that order for you. Congratulations, friend. Yeah, Royal Ruby is a real good one. I don't have any currently here to show off, but it is good. And we just made a bunch. All right, there we go. Oh no, you broke your 3D printed cup handle, tumbler handle? Well, guess what? I know a great place where you can go to get some filament to reprint that. Anyway, jokes aside. All right. Is Fusion done uploading the damn file yet? Oh, it is. Look at that. Let's rename it. Oh, that's a baseball step. Finally. Oh, I did not mean to remove that message, but whatever. That message has now been removed. Oh, it's going to take forever to open up this document, is it? All right, you know what? I'm tired. It's late. It's really late. Awesome, Hanson. Glad to hear you got the confirmation there. It's the one nice thing about me being able to do that on stream. It's just, I can make sure you get the confirmation right here and now. and there's no waiting at all. The only waiting you have to wait for is the shipping, which, heads up, it is a holiday weekend. If you order anything from Print Salad, please understand that we are not open tomorrow. So, and because we are not open on the weekends, nothing is going to ship until Monday. So any orders you place in today will likely be processed on Monday, and that's it. So please understand. I fixed the file. It is now loaded. We are not going to dive too deep into this any further, because I am certainly tired. But let me just show you guys. So now that we've re-uploaded the file, one, it runs a lot smoother, which is really nice. I say as it essentially freezes. So yeah, here we are. We're back in. We're good. It's a fresh start, fresh file. I will get back to this at some point, and I will start printing the body soon. But all the progress we made has not been lost. As you can see, everything is relatively still here. This looks fucking broken. What the fuck? Well, maybe some things aren't exactly good. What happens if I hit delete? Fusion hated that. I'm gonna have to fix that. Okay, I'm gonna fix up this model on my own time and do other things that I have to do on this model. Things are broken. Things are very broken. So I will fix this later. Anyway, thank you all so much for tuning in tonight. I hope you all had a wonderful time. I know that I did, and you guys have been amazing. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Have a wonderful night, and remember, if you want to see the world become a better place, if you want to see the world become a better place, you can do so by volunteering for causes that you believe in. And if you aren't able to donate your time, that's okay. There are many other ways that you can donate to any charity or fundraiser that you are looking to help support. And there is plenty of other ways that you can make a change for the better within your community. By actively seeking these out, we can all work together as makers to build a better place for everyone in this world. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I hope you all have a wonderful night. This is Nomad.